So I got the Loyale home. Unfortunately, you probably saw it broke on the Rallycross there. And my initial diagnosis was that I thought the timing belt had slipped because we had a timing belt slip before, and it seemed like that. It would kind of cough, and every now and then it wouldn't quite run. So weird. Okay, so brought it home, got it here in the garage. Don't mind this. And spoiler alert, I've already got it running again. So there was no internal damage to the engine. I pulled apart took the fans off and pulled the belt off, inspected the cam timing, and I discovered that the passenger side cam there was one tooth off. So that cam was screwed up. But that wasn't the problem. What the real problem was is that the rotor came off inside the distributor. The little screw that holds on the rotor had backed out and fallen out. So the distributor rotor just kind of spun in there. So that's all that happened, is the distributor just stopped spitting, and it would like catch every now and then, and hence the coughing and backfiring and whatnot. So I put that screw back in with some Loctite. I retimed that cam so it's correct, and I'm gonna just take it for its first test drive now. Okay, first startup here. I fired it a couple times just to check that it does run. Here we go. Oh, seat belts on. A little bit of belt squeal. A little bit. She sounds mint. Oh, yes. It's like a real car now. Maybe we're gonna see if we can tighten that belt up. Okay, take two. See if I can clean off the windshield. Oh yeah, look at that. It's fucking scrubbing it clean. Mint. Oh, yes! I'm pretty sure that cam belt has been mistimed since all of last year. Also, after that drive out to the valley, I definitely... Oh man, it pulls now. What the hell? This thing is awesome. Okay, wow, fantastic. On the drive out to the valley, probably especially because of that cam, it's on its way to completely destroying the cats in this downpipe, because it smells like egg farts so bad. It's incredible. But this thing straight up makes power now. This is incredible. Off throttle perform, or out of boost performance is so much better. Wow. Yeah. Cam timing, important. Yeah, so it was one full tooth off on a 36 tooth cam gear. So that's 20 degrees off in crank angle, 10 degrees off in cam angle. I don't know. I haven't done cam degreeing before, so I'm not sure if those numbers are in crank angle or cam angle. Well, I think it is crank angle because they put the big angle chart on the crank. So yeah, the passenger side bank was 20 degrees off in cam timing. Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it right there. By the way, I'm just taking a quick trip to the store here. I'm gonna get myself some dish soap and wafer cookies. Important stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even mention it. I put the WRX wheel back on this thing. It's been off since I thought I was gonna sell it, but now it's back. I realized I probably should log the AFRs again now that the cam is in time. And by log, of course, I mean watch the AFRs while I accelerate. I said I'm not sure how it would have affected it, but my thought is maybe it would have had an incomplete burn if it was opening the exhaust valve too late. I'm honestly amazed it ran as well as it did before. Oh yeah, I think I actually do need to do a little bit more, turn in a little more fuel on the FMU. I saw about 12 to 1 in there. Now it actually accelerates in that low or high load, low RPM area. It was struggling there before. Like on the highway out to Big Lake, or not Big Lake, Palmer, at like 65 miles an hour in 5th gear, as I'd roll on the throttle and start to get past like maybe 5 pounds of manifold vacuum, or I think it's pounds, it might be, yeah, I think that's pounds of vacuum. Anyways, once I got past like 5 pounds of manifold vacuum, it started slowing down. So yeah, knowing what I know now about the cam timing makes a lot of sense. Wow. Awesome. So I just made some adjustments on the fuel management unit. I did a full turn, because last time I was seeing about, well, you know, it's probably too much actually. We'll see. I was seeing about 12 to 1 on the wideband, and so I wanted to make sure that, you know, I want to go at least, I want to go a full point richer than that. We'll see what it does. It's a guess and check sort of operation. So now the car makes so much more power, I'm going to have to take it somewhere where there's dry roads, or at least not icy. That sound seems like it's getting worse. I may have a bad CV axle or something. That drivetrain or rattle or whatever it is. Anyway, so I'm going to see if I can go out to the highway and yeah, that's probably a CV axle. I'll have to check that. And get a good second gear pull in. Also, there was a cop that just turned behind me while I was pulling out. And I'm afraid that this thing looks like such a piece of shit that I look like a meth head. To be clear, never have done meth. Alright, let's see if we can get a second gear pull in here. Alright, that leaned out to about 11 to 1 at the top end. 11 and a half, something like that. I'm pretty comfortable with that. That drivetrain noise is getting worse, and not as comfortable with that. Also, it seemed like it kind of had a little bit of a like kind of a under power speed wobble a little bit. Yeah, that sounds real bad. Maybe that's actually a brake noise. You know, I have not looked at the brakes on this thing. I think I've only like externally inspected them. You know, I'd say this pulls about as good as like, you know, modern, naturally aspirated Subaru now. That's about the goal, about where I wanted it to be. Yeah, I think that's getting worse when I hit the brakes. Yeah, I'll have to pull that caliper off and check that out. It definitely does it more heavily on deceleration, not under acceleration. And if I let off, that corner and do an inspection on there. You know what I bet it is that it sounds like like something scrubbing. I bet it's a something with a dust shield hitting the rotor. So I just had this wheel off, checked out some things. It looked like the brake dust shield was really close to the rotor, like, you know, within probably a 1/16 of an inch. So it may be that we need a wheel bearing here or something, and that it was moving a little bit and rubbing. Couldn't notice it wiggling or anything, but could be. Hard to say. Anyway, whatever. We'll figure it out. So, thanks for watching this video. This stupid car runs great now, and I hate to say it, but it's kind of making me like the EA82, and it kind of makes me want to play with it more. So we'll see how it survives this season of racing. What I've told myself is that if it survives, then in the summer I'm going to turn it all the way up and see what it'll do. But I'm not going to be stupid about it. If it's leaning out or whatever, I'm not going to just ping it to death. You know, if I'm turning it up, I want to make sure the fueling and the timing is where it needs to be. I've got my, you know, my homebrew kind of DIY engine management set up. So yeah, I figure if I turn this thing up, it's a TD04, so maybe 200 wheel horsepower is what the turbo itself is capable of. Whether or not it'll be in the right sort of pressure ratio range is another question. You know, I think this motor's rated at like 90 horsepower stock. So if we're looking at 200 wheel, you're probably starting at about, you know, maybe 70 horsepower wheel. So to get to 200 wheel, you would want like 220 at the crank. Yeah, so that might be a bit much to ask of the turbo. Well, I don't know. You'd probably see 200 wheel on a stock WRX. So yeah, you might see it overspeeding the turbo a little bit. You know, it'll push it out of its pressure map a little bit, and it won't get as good at IATs. The turbo won't be as efficient. But anyway, that's for the future, and that's just all bench racing for now. Anyways, stay tuned. I'll try and keep this thing updated on videos and whatnot. I'll try and figure out a good way to shoot videos, especially for the wheel-to-wheel ice racing, because that's pretty fun to watch. But anyways, thanks again for watching.